Welcome back, travel fans, to Laura's Travel Talk. Today, we're going to look at some eerie and haunted spots to explore for those who like a little mystery and intrigue in their lives. Okay. Anyway, we're going to start with the Stanley Hotel, which is famously known for being the location where Stephen King imagined the plot for the movie and the book, The Shining. The Stanley Hotel offers 60-minute historic and paranormal tours around The Shining. And if you have not seen this movie or read the book, you are missing out. This movie scared the bejesus out of me. The Stanley Hotel is a real working hotel, and guests can stay there, but it is believed to be haunted. And the hotel has, a lot of eerie occurrences, piano music playing on its own. And then when you watch the movie, you learn about the young child named Danny Torrance who has red rum. You'll know what I mean if you've seen the movie. He has psychic powers. So the movie is kind of a scary plot twist, and you should sit down and take a look at it. So for our next eerie spot, the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. This oddity is said to be haunted by the ghost of those that were killed by the Winchester rifles. It has staircases that go nowhere. It has doors that you open and it's a wall. And it was the personal residence of Sarah Lockwood Pardee Winchester, the widow of William Wirt Winchester, and she was the heiress to the largest portion of the Winchester repeating arms fortune. So tragedy came upon her when her infant child died of a childhood illness, and then a few years later her husband was taken from tuberculosis, and so she thought she needed to move out of their Connecticut house, and she moved to San Jose, California. She bought this 8-room farmhouse, and she began what can only be described as the world's longest home renovation, stopping only when she passed away in September of 1922. So it's been told that a psychic told her that if she continued to build, that she would ward off evil spirits. I've been to the Winchester Mansion a few times, and that's pretty much the story that they go with there. And so from 1886 to 1922, the construction never ceased. And the original 8-room house grew into the world's most unusual and sprawling mansion. It had features like 24,000 square feet, 10,000 windows, 2,000 doors, 160 rooms, 52 skylights, 47 stairways and fireplaces, 17 chimneys, 13 bathrooms, and 6 kitchens. This was all built at a price tag of about $5 million in 1923, which would resemble more like $70 million today. Was she instructed to build this house by a psychic? Was she haunted by the ghosts of those that fell by the gun that won the Wild West? Did construction ever truly stop? What motivated her to do this bizarre mansion and continue to build? I don't think we'll ever know, but I'm telling you, it is weird. You should stop by San Jose. Next up, we're going to look at the Myrtles Plantation. It's known as one of America's most haunted homes. Located in St. Francisville, Louisiana, the Myrtles Plantation is a 10-acre property that was built in 1796. And it's surrounded by ancient oak trees and gorgeous scenery. It's one of the most picturesque attractions in Louisiana, but it's also one of the most haunted. It's now a bed and breakfast, and one of the most popular cabin rentals is the caretaker's quarters. The plantation holds a record of ghostly phenomena such as handprints in the mirrors, footsteps on the stairs, mysterious smells, vanishing objects, death by poison, hangings, murder, gunfire. Holy cow, does it go on? But there have been countless paranormal experiences throughout the years, and then one of the most popular ghosts that is often seen is Chloe, a former slave who was murdered after she was caught eavesdropping. And there's a picture there at the end of between the two houses, and that is said to be the ghost of Chloe. Next up, Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky. This former tuberculosis hospital has a reputation for ghostly apparitions, eerie voices, and the infamous body chute. Opened in 1910 to house the tuberculosis patients, this global affliction during the late 19th and early 20th century was the leading cause of death in many industrialized nations. Affecting the pulmonary system of patients, many patients suffered a slow and agonizing death due to lack of resources, knowledgeable doctors, and treatments. This place is said to be haunted by children in one of the wings, a few young nurses that were mistreated, and creepy mean spirits that haunt the halls, and of course, the infamous body chute. So that patients didn't see how many people were dying around them, they'd throw them down the body chute. So go to the link and look at the history yourself. This one's charming. Next location is the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in Weston, West Virginia. This asylum was home to many unfortunate souls. Paranormal investigators have reported hearing voices, screams, and seeing shadowy figures. Welcome to the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. So, this National Historic Landmark served as a sanctuary for the mentally ill in the mid-1800s, and this over 160-year-old asylum holds fascinating stories, and it includes Civil War raids and gold robbery. Thousands had been committed to the asylum over the years, and hundreds unfortunately died here. Decide for yourself if they're still occupying the historic wards and treatment rooms, because the asylum has many tours that you can go on, and there have been apparition sightings, unexplainable voices, sounds, and other paranormal activity. And many of the ghost hunters that are on TV have gone to this location, so you can see it for yourself. Okay, here we go to our next creepy place, the Queen Mary in Long Beach, California. This retired ocean liner turned into a hotel is rumored to be haunted by spirits from its days as a World War II transport ship, with reports of ghostly children and mysterious sounds. The RMS Queen Mary spent 3 decades transporting the rich and famous across the Atlantic before retiring in 1967. She survived the Great Depression and World War II and managed to avoid the tragic fate of her cousin, the Titanic. But under the glitz and glamour, this haunted ship is hiding several dark secrets. It has at least 47 people died aboard the Queen Mary during her time at sea, and the ship is reportedly haunted by over 100 spirits. And I have to tell you, I've been to the Queen Mary quite a few times. I've stayed in the hotel inside the ship, and the creepiest thing that ever happened to me there was when we went in and got a personal tour of the swimming pool. It did not feel good in there. I'm just saying. And now we have the Villisca Axe Murder House in Villisca, Iowa. Well, that sounds inviting, doesn't it? So, one of America's most haunted houses, the Villisca Axe Murders of June 1912, remain an enduring and unsettling enigma in American criminal history. In this quaint, small Iowa town, on a pleasant summer's night, 8 unsuspecting victims, including 6 children, were bludgeoned to death as they slept following a church service. Despite a nationwide manhunt, multiple suspects, and 2 trials, the murder remains unsolved. Visitors report feeling eerie feelings when they're in the house, whispers, apparitions. It's just a little creepy abode. Well, let's look at the Shanghai Tunnels in Portland, Oregon. Beneath Old Town Chinatown, Portland's original downtown, in the so-called Shanghai Tunnels, truth mingles with myth. Local lore says that a labyrinth of interconnected basements, makeshift rooms, and low-ceiling tunnels reached the waterfront in the 1890s. Allegedly, this made it easy to sneak illegal goods, including opium, Prohibition-era alcohol, or kidnap victims onto waiting ships. The actual use was transportation of goods to and from the river to businesses avoiding streetcars, traffic, and mud. But there are some trapdoors which people supposedly dropped through that are still functioning in Old Town Chinatown bars that you can see for yourself. And there are some haunted walking tours, however, there is some discussion around limiting those or canceling them. So check on the link in the description. Okay, our next creepy place is Randolph County Asylum in Winchester, Indiana. It's located in Randolph County, and the asylum infirmary is well known in the paranormal community as a hotbed of activity that never fails to wow visitors. Whether your love is for architecture, history, or all the spooky stuff, you will love the asylum. The building's halls and rooms are filled with spirits and a plethora of paranormal activity. Many of the residents of this historical building, young and old, continue to make their presence known both day and night. Apparitions are often spotted in the building. Dolls in a former tenant's room are said to move by unseen forces. Sounds of children talking and laughing. Shadowy figures change shape when you see them. It is a hotspot of paranormal. So check this one out. Well, let's take a look at this old Licking County Jail in Newark, Ohio. The historic Licking County Jail has become one of the most important and well-known historic jails in Ohio. There has also been much interest in the possibility that this is a haunted jail, occupied by the spirits of those who were once confined within these walls. The haunted jail experience has received much public interest. It's also available for public and private tours. The old jail is on South 3rd Street, and it was built in 1889. Several inmates died while they were in this jail, either by hanging or intoxication. 3 Licking County sheriffs died of heart attacks while they were in residence at that jail. But the most well-known occurrence at the jail was the lynching of the 17-year-old liquor agent, Carl Etherington, on July 8, 1910. The last use of the jail for incarceration was in 1987. And by 2010, the county commissioners were proposing to convert the jail into a tourist attraction. So they invited several paranormal investigation groups to spend the night, and they all came out with evidence of haunting. So I guess we'll stop here until we bring you another dose of eerie and haunted places. For those of you who like a little mystery and intrigue in your life, as I said up front, I hope you enjoyed it. And don't go out after dark. But if you'd push that like and subscribe button at the end, I'd really appreciate it. Be a doll. Thank you.